Well, shooters and reloaders and three circles passengers and members, it's Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to you from the Hot Lead Zone Express. Anyway, we're doing a book report today, and this book was sent to me by Nick Ross, and what a fantastic, thoughtful gift it is. Sacrificial even, because this book costs a little bit of money. It says $50 on the back, so I'm very appreciative of you, Nick, for sending me this. It's very thoughtful. The title of the book is John Taffin's Book of the 45 Caliber, and John did one of these in 44 caliber, but the 45 is very appropriate, don't you think? Because Fortune Cookie 45 makes a lot of appropriateness there, and it's our favorite big bore caliber. 44 is pretty close also, but let me show you this book. It's a fantastic book. John Taffin is one of the giants in the gun writing industry and in the shooting industry in general. So look at this book. It's a very impressive, massive volume that is suitable for putting on your coffee table, and it's certainly glossy and beautiful enough to go on your coffee table. The size of this thing is kind of like a Torani pump bottle for flavoring. It's about the size of that bottle. I'll take 3 pumps, please. Well, it's certainly true you can't judge a book by its cover. So let's go to the table of contents. That's what we're interested in. Look at this. So the 45 caliber is a very comprehensive subject. How are you going to cover that? And what John Taffin does is he goes into the side here on 6 guns. The contents begins with the 6 guns, talks about the cartridges, and that's the 45 Colt, 45 Schofield, 45 Auto Rim, 454 Casull, and then the 460 Smith & Wesson and 4570. That covers the cartridges that are available. Then it talks about the 6 guns, the various Colts, the Rugers, Freedom Arms, Dan Wesson, Taurus, and also how to manage and master the single and double action revolver. This is very comprehensive and very cool. Look at this, like for instance, talks about the Bisley, the Ruger Red Hawk, the Ruger Vaqueros, the Colt Single Action Army, of course, is the first one. Then it talks about even the Great Western Frontier model, which is the clone of the Colt early one. And then coming on to, I don't see a whole lot of the covering the Uberties and this kind of thing. I'm sure it's mentioned though, but we'll see. In fact, look down here, the replica 6 guns. There you go. The Uberties, the Pietas, they're all in there. The 45 6 guns of Cimarron. Talks about the Hartford Remington and conversions. So anyway, then you go to the 45 caliber when it comes to the semi-auto pistols. And it talks about the cartridges, which is the 45 ACP, 45 Winchester Magnum, 460 Roland, 45 Gap. Then it talks about the various guns, the semi-automatics, beginning, of course, with the Colt government model. How appropriate is all that? Then it goes all the way through to the Kimbers, the foreign 45s, all of that kind of thing. And then it talks about the rifles, the long guns and their cartridges. And of course, you're talking about the 4570 and the various 4570 variants. Talks about the various 45 Colt lever guns, but it starts with a 4570, of course. So this is laid out very nicely in terms of content. This is a book you read from cover to cover, from the dedication to the foreword to the introduction, all good stuff through here. And very nicely done with photos. The font they use in the layout of this book is it's not real tiny font. It's not huge either, but it's perfectly sized font. It has a kind of a beginning here of the good wishes, and then opens right up. So look at this. The 45 Colt cartridge, and very well supported with photos and lots of loading data, the various bullets, and yeah, this is a very nice volume. Goes into the Schofield, and the historical aspects are all there. Here's the 45 auto rim. Look at this. Talks about all the 1917 revolvers and how they morphed into various revolvers that came after that. So I'm going ahead and skipping ahead. See, we talked about the cartridges in 45 caliber. The first one was a 45 Colt. The first 6-gun that they're talking about in the 6-gun section is the Colt single action Army. That's prototypical for the 45 caliber. So there it is. And here's the beginning of the section on the replicas and the clones of the Colt single action Army. And here you see like the 45 6-guns of Cimarrons. So that begins this smallish but very important section. And then the very important section on the semi-auto pistols, the 45 caliber. And starting with the cartridges, there is of course the 45 ACP. And how important and significant is that round? And of course it goes into all these. There's my favorite 200 grain semi-wad cutter, and of course the GI ogive cast bullet and the original hardball GI 45 ACP round. And of course the section on the various guns begins with the Colt government model. And all the variants of the same. Then it talks about the Smith & Wesson 45s and the Ruger 45s and the Dan Wessons, the Kimbers. Very complete workup on the auto pistols in 45 ACP. And of course your Glock fans and your Springfield Armory fans, all represented in this very complete volume. Finally, the long guns, the rifles, carbines in 45 caliber, and the layout of this volume is very well done. Look at this. And of course we go into the 4570 cartridge, and then of course your single shots that fire the 4570, all your various single shots right there, followed by your Marlins, your Winchesters. So all of this, just wonderful reading from cover to cover. You're going to go ahead and read every word. You don't even want to put this thing down. This is a very good volume. So again, thanks to Nick Ross for this wonderful gift. And there have been no videos on this book or the John Taffin books in general, like the Book of the 44. These will be all wonderful additions to anyone's library, and invite you to look into these books for sure. Fortune Cookie 45 LC. Bye for now. See you next video.